Yeah, Darrin's going to provide the update for Kentucky newborn screening program. Darrin's worked for the program for 21 years and has been instrumental in working with Mayo and getting a method up and running for probably the model method, I would say, for running Krabbe newborn screening. Thanks, Darrin, for your time.
Thanks, Joe. And thanks to Anna and all of Hunter's Hope for the invitation. You can go to the next slide. So we started screening for Krabbe, Pompe, NBS 1 all at the same time on February 15th in 2016. We contracted with Mayo Clinic Laboratories to do the testing for us. And then in 2018, I'm sorry, we added XALD screening. And I put a couple of pictures here. One is the card. Since we mail these out to Mayo, we created a new card that has perforation so we can detach 2 spots because they want 2 spots from us. And there's a picture of us labeling. This was the old way. I don't have a picture of the new way, but it was not very fun. So next slide, please. So this is the story so far. We have tested 343,000 babies for both for Krabbe, Pompe, and NBS 1, and then XALD we've tested 210,000 babies. Krabbe, we've only gotten 2 positive notifications from Mayo, both of which turned out to be true positives. We have no carriers or false positives. Pompe, we've had 35, 21 true positives, all late onset, 5 carriers, 3 are still pending diagnosis. NBS 1, we've had 10 that were sent for confirmatory testing. 4 were true positive, 2 are carriers, and 1 was lost to follow-up. And then for XALD, we've had 5 positive notifications from Mayo that went for confirmatory testing. 4 of those were true positives, and the 5th one was still true positive, but it's a Zellweger. And this is all for Krabbe testing. We only do early infantile. Our Mayo contract does not specify testing for late onset. And I will say that this data is up through June 30th. So next slide, please. So for our confirmation process, we're similar to Missouri. Once we get a notification from Mayo, we will call the geneticist for, depending on which part of the state it is, we contract with the University of Kentucky and the University of Louisville for the east and west sides of the state. So we will call that geneticist and we will let them know that we have a positive for Krabbe or any other disorder. And then we will prepare a laboratory report. Next slide. We upload that report to SharePoint, which is something we implemented a couple of years ago, which makes it much, much easier. And that goes automatically to the geneticist or the genetics group at whichever university it goes to, and our NBS follow-up group. The NBS follow-up group will fax that report and the act sheets to PCP. The geneticist will call the PCP and tell the PCP that to tell the family to expect a phone call from the geneticist. And when I spoke to the genetic counselors about this, they said they try to be fairly vague with the PCP. They have had, I think it was an NBS 1 case where they called the PCP called the parents, told the parents that the baby definitely had the disorder, there was no treatment, and that baby was not going to survive, which of course none of that was true. So they are pretty careful to make sure that they qualify and be very vague with the PCP, because then the geneticist will call the family and they will be the ones to break the news and to arrange for them to come in or any further follow-up testing that they might need. And next slide. And that's all I've got. So thank you all.